stranger's door, calling a stranger on a cold telephone. I never did any of that kind of crowd. You know, most people fear when they look at an opportunity like Primerica today and they say, well, I don't know 50 people, I don't know 100 people, I don't know 500 people. And they're scared to try. Well, see, all you got to know is 3. All you got to know is 3. Let me tell you about us, the difference in us and Prudential and the other trash value companies. The life insurance industry was built.
I hope you just caught what he said. When we ask people to put together a list and they freeze up, they've been living maybe 40 or 50 years and they say they don't know anybody, they got large families. And he talks about that word, that key word, fear. He used to give us a printout of things that people fear. Fear of failure was one of them. And so a lot of people, it's a psychology to this business. It's a psychology to recruiting. That's why we talk about overcoming objections and the things to say or the things to share with people to help them overcome those thoughts. We know that most of the people that when we get finished, now we're gonna have some that say, hey, I'm in right away, they run right in. But there are some that we have to overcome their objections before they become objections.
Built back in 1977 like this, and it's still built today like this. They've got a manager, and then they've got a sales force. The manager does all the recruiting and all the training. So if he goes out and recruits 3 people, and he does that 10 times, that's 30 people. But A.L. Williams grew by building teams, giving you a chance to go out and build your own team. And so if you go out and recruit 3 people, and you give your 3 people a chance to recruit 3 people. If you go recruit 3 people and you do that times 10, that's 59,000 people. Folks, that's how we did it. We did it by multiplication. Now that's numbers on a page. So let's see if I can do this for you now. Let's see if I can tell you how it really worked in the real world, a real live story, how multiplication really works, just the power of 3. In 1970, ITT moved me from Columbus, Georgia to Atlanta, Georgia to open a new office. I didn't know anybody in Atlanta, zero. So I sit there and I'm thinking, I said, well, I'm a warm market guy. I'd rather dig ditches than go out there and knock on a stranger's door and call a cold stranger on a telephone. I ain't gonna do that. So I'm thinking about my warm market. How am I gonna make this warm market? I don't know nobody in Atlanta. So how in the dog crap am I gonna get in a warm market if I don't know nobody? If your warm market is just this big circle, at the top of that warm market, the hottest part of the warm market where you wanna build your career is best friends. And then you go down from best friend to your golf buddies and your hunting buddies, and you're getting cooler now as you go down. And parents of kids that play Little League baseball, your kids' Little League baseball and stuff like that, people you go to church with, people you work with, neighbors, all that's getting colder. And then you get to the bottom of your warm market, and it's just people in your same occupation. Now, when I use a word like occupation for you basketball coaches out there, that means the kind of work you're in, okay? And so I started thinking about occupation, and I say, well, I'm a football coach. I know coaches. I know how coaches think. I know how coaches talk. So Georgia put out a coaches directory. Angela, when we came to Atlanta in 1969, we bought a home in Snellville, Georgia, about 30 minutes outside of Atlanta. I took a map and I took a 30-minute drive, and I took a circle, went 30 minutes from my house, and there were 21 high schools. I wrote 21 letters to the head football coach, and I said, Coach, my name is Art Williams. I don't know if you have heard of me, but I was coaching at Kendrick High School, and while I was coaching there, I started a part-time job, and over the first 2.5 years, I saved over $42,000, and it changed my life. I've gone full-time with ITT now, and I've come to Atlanta to open an office, and I'm looking for coaches that would like to work part-time for me. I sent out 21 letters. I don't like to do that. That's the coldest end of the warm market, right? But I didn't know nobody. And I was determined not to have to go out and pass out business cards in a shopping mall and all this kind of crap. I don't believe in talking to strangers. So I gave them about 3 or 4 days, and not one single head coach answered my darn letter. So I decided to ride about a half a mile away to South Gwinnett High School, which was in Snellville, Georgia. Coaches are always having salespeople come in trying to sell you new uniforms and helmets and shoulder pads and crap like that. And so I go to coach, the head football coach's name is Bobby Johnson. I go knock on his door and introduce myself. I said, Coach Johnson, I'm Art Williams. I wrote you a letter. Do you remember getting it? And he said, yes. And I said, you know, I'm looking for coaches. I got the greatest part-time opportunity in the world. It's just unbelievable. It changed my life. He said, Art, let me tell you something. I just can't sell nothing. I'm just not interested. But I threw that letter in a trash can, and our basketball coach came in, and he said, what's that? What's that? And he said, I showed him that letter, and he said he might be interested. His name was T. Faircloth. The first guy I recruited was T. Faircloth. He played basketball at Auburn. The first 3 guys he introduced me to were teammates at Auburn: Randall Walker, Bob Buson, and Bob Miller. And from those 3 guys, we built, listen folks, from those 3 guys, now this is real life. This ain't crap. This ain't pie in the sky. This actually happened. From that one part-time guy that retrieved a letter out of a trash can that introduced me to 3 of his teammates. We built over 4,000 RVPs, over 100,000 licensed people in every city, every state, in Canada, in Puerto Rico. You know something else funny about that story? This power of 3. I had 21 coaches that I'm a worker. I worked my butt off 20 years in this business, And every time I'd go recruit a coach, he'd take me to 3 or 4 of his friends, and he'd take me to 3 or 4 of his friends. I found myself in Dallas, Texas, or Los Angeles, California, or up in New Hampshire, or in Virginia. And 20 years later, I could never get to but 12 of those coaches. Ain't that something? That's the power of multiplication.
It's a powerful message there.
And every time I'd go recruit a coach, he'd take me to 3 or 4 of his friends, and he'd take me to 3 or 4 of his friends. I found myself in Dallas, Texas, or Los Angeles, California, or up in New Hampshire, or in Virginia. And 20 years later, I could never get to but 12 of those coaches. Ain't that something? That's the power of multiplication.
Powerful message there from the founder, Art Williams, talking about how he grew the business, how it exploded. And so when we talk to you about one recruit from a surge, we're actually talking to you about things that have happened. Some of the top people in the company, those are the kind of things that happen to them. They got one recruit, or just looked like it just wasn't going to happen. It just looked like it wasn't going to manifest. And all of a sudden, they get this person who comes in, who comes to work with them, and their business explodes. We hear the story all the time of how that happens. And you never know who it's going to be. It may be that person you look at that you say is going to be great, that's sharp, and then it may be somebody else who comes in and you don't think they're the best. A lot of the best people, when they first came to an op meeting, or when they first got on Zoom, or somebody first met them, they didn't look like they were going to be the star, but they were the people who incorporated themselves into this, and they took off like a rocket. Always with recruiting, we're dealing with people and their objections, and if you look at Primerica, particularly in the African-American community, it's a lot of women who join. It's a lot of women who it appeals to. In fact, a lot of the significant growth comes from women. That's not to knock men, but women really push this thing and handling their objections, because most women are already super women before we meet up with them. And so they have all kind of rationale. I came across this that I think, you can check out and tell me what, it's just a minute long. This is Landry, and I'm gonna share with you what she shared. if it lets me share.
Crazy to me how we as women put everybody else's business before our own, right? You know how many times I get excuse after excuse about why we as women cannot get the job done? Well, you know what, coach, I have this going on. My kids are sick. My grandmother's sick. I have a flat tire. It's really raining outside and all of this stuff going on, right? But let me ask you one question. And I got one question and one question only. But are you going to the job tomorrow? Even though you got going through a breakup, are you going to the job tomorrow still? Even though your grandmother is sick, are you still going to work tomorrow? Even though this happened, that happened, are you still going to work? Because if you're still going to build somebody else's business, then damn it, you need to get up and build yours. At what point did their business become priority over your business? How do you feel like no matter what you going on, you still gonna show up to work, but when it comes to your business, you can't make it? No, are you still going
Siobhan Landry. Yeah, that was on Facebook. And I thought it was a powerful message because you're going to be talking to women, and you recruited some women who they resort to that, you know, that talking like that and so forth. And even as we go through life, people will put us off, you know, like some people say, well, call me after the holidays. I got one of those yesterday, and I thought they were talking about Christmas. They pushed it to New Year's, and I said, oh Lord, they won't remember me. You know, somebody else will recruit them in that time period, but they going to work every day. You see, they're not missing work, they dealing with their business, so forth, but it really was an excuse to put me off, but it was somebody who actually needs what we have. And so when I came across that, I said, she's giving a very powerful message to some people who you may have talked to, but we just have to sometimes be able to convey that message because they may never see Siobhan Landry. We got to get them to that point. And so I was thinking also, as we go into some of our subjects for today, that is so important. I went to the doctor yesterday, and you know, accountability is real important. So, you know, like when I'm eating bad and doing what I want to do and so forth, the doctor ain't around watching me, but the doctor knows people. So when I come into the doctor's office, we got a checklist. Okay, have you still eating potato chips? You know, you still eating cake? You still eating ice cream? Are you exercising? Are you doing this? Showing me accountability. So on this trip to the doctor, Rodney, I worked because I came in some pounds overweight last 3 months ago when I went to see the doctor. So I worked to get my weight down. I worked to get in shape, you know, so I came with my weight down. You know, my levels were good and so forth. And she was still questioning me. And I said, man, that applies to our business. Because see, what happens is we'll go through months, you know, we'll go through a quarter and we don't have nobody sits down with us and they do that diagnostic like that doctor does. They had me do some lab work. They looked at me completely to see, you know, what state I was in. Well, our businesses need to be looked at that way too. And that's one of the things that I want to do with the leaders. I talked about it last week. We didn't get around to it, but that's going to be so helpful to have that diagnostic. Some months ago, Janice first did a report card with her team. And she did a report card where they could see their report card, because sometimes we won't know. If it wasn't for that doctor, you know, I probably have a donut in my mouth right now, you know, and have one waiting when I finish that one, you know, because they taste good. In fact, Brandon, when I left the doctor in North County, I went to that donut shop because I had passed my test with the doctor. So I went to the donut shop to celebrate, the one we used to go to.
Yes,
around the corner from the office.
Tony.
Oh my God. Oh, it was so good.
Off the chain.
It was worth driving, huh?
Off the chain.
It was on the way. It's worth driving over there today. I'm telling you. And so I went to Tony's and got me a donut to sell. I said, oh, I can get away now.
Don't do it.
I did it, Mervina. I'm sorry. So anyway, but that diagnostic. But while I was sitting there, this was interesting. While the nurse was checking me in, and you know, she would take my blood pressure and stuff, she told me her name. She told me her name was Mika. I said, Mika? She said, yeah. I said, you got the same name as this lady who just made $1 million with our company. She stopped. Her blood pressure went up instead of mine. She said, $1 million? Doing what? I said, well, you know, she works with the company, so she put together a business. I said, have you ever heard of Primerica? Nope. Now, we're in North County. She ain't never heard of Primerica. So you would think that the business is saturated, that ain't no people to talk. Now, I've run into several people this month who ain't never heard of Primerica. They don't know nothing about it. And so she said, now how she do that? How she do that? I said, well, look, give me your number, and either I'll contact you or I'll have somebody contact you to explain it to you. And so when the visit was over, she came back in there. She said, now I need to hear about that $1 million. So, you know, let me know about it. There are people who are looking for you. There are people who are hungry. Just in passing, as you go through this holiday season, people are very receptive right now. They're very friendly right now. This is the perfect time to prospect. Well, you say, well, George, we supposed to be locked in. We know ain't none of us locked in. That traffic was horrendous all day long yesterday. People were out there, and I said, well, maybe I'll sneak in this place and go grab something, grab a gift for somebody. There were places that literally had no parking spots. You had to circle and circle and circle till you could get a spot in some of those places. And so people are out, people are circulating, they're doing things, and so it's a perfect time to recruit. So getting into that, I asked some leaders this morning to talk about things that they're thankful for. And Rodney, you initiated this subject with me. So I don't know if you want to start or you want me to have somebody share before you.
No, good morning, Coach. You know, I'm the kickoff king. Ain't got no problem with it. Good morning. How y'all doing?
Yeah, getting better every day. Woo!
That's what I'm talking about. Motivated, dedicated, and fired up to get families financially educated. You hear me? You know, I was sharing with George a few things about this year. You know, 2020 has been real crazy and scary as you know, look back. You know, most people in America have lost two things. That's a lot of loved ones and a lot of money. You know, those are the two things that Primerica mainly focuses on. You know, with the death claims and the service we provide, you know, that's one of our pet peeves. You know, that's one of the main things we provide. And then you look at the George, you know, I've been watching these food lines, people. You know, I was on my way to my mom's house where I'm at now, and I saw a line of people across the street from our East St. Louis High School, you know, at their stadium. Man, they had blocked off the street. They was giving away baskets or something at the Bi-State Metrolink building. People, they had blocked off the street coming in from one way, and then the other way, it was cars lined up like it was a football homecoming game. And when I looked in the line, people, I saw brand new cars, 2020s, 2018s, 19s. I'm talking about these weren't old cars. And it had to be people in that line that waited 4 to 5 hours. You got to think about it. These people never been in line before. Now, when you look at 2020, when it comes to Primerica versus America, this has been an amazing, record-breaking year. Ain't that something? See, when you, you know, you producing $100,000, new $100,000 earner every day of the year, a new millionaire every month of the year, you can't do nothing but shake your head. So what I did, I wrote down what 2020, what Primerica has done for me and my family. On the personal note, you know, my mom was able to pay up the mortgage up so much, she didn't have to pay it for this month for Christmas, based off Primerica. When I look at, as a rep, what it's done for the wife and I and our team, the North-South team, you know, I wrote down a few things. We were able to buy in the pandemic a brand new 2020. This year, I ain't made a whole lot of money like George, Charles, and some more people. But I promise you, Primerica in 2020 has never left me without no money. ain't been broke all year based on primary. We've been able to invest the extra $100 a month based on primary. I watched teammates make thousands of dollars on our team. And that was amazing to me to watch people make, I got a young lady, she made about $6,000 in 55 days on a temporary license. To see that was amazing. To watch people make $1,000 in a week, 2-3 days, pay their mortgage, buy new wash machines, quit their jobs. To see that on our team in 2020, in the pandemic, that was amazing. Was able to save at times 3 months of living experiences in a pandemic. How can we put away 3 months of living experience, emergency funds in a pandemic? At points, man, our business was paying us $2,000 a week in a pandemic, dog. $2,000 a week. I ain't got no college education. I got a PhD, public high school diploma. You hear me? Straight from the school of hard knocks. Man, watching these things, George just bonused us so much money in the pandemic, man, about $10,000. I don't watch them bonus so many other members. That was just a few things, to wake up and the mindset of buying stock on Black Friday. That comes from the teaching and the learning of this business. A young ghetto boy like me didn't know nothing about no stocks and no investments. They ain't teaching that in the community. I don't know where they got that meeting at. So Primerica, and I'm sharing these stories because this is just 0.1% of what the company is going to do for the family and I. This is just 1/10. This ain't even a whole 1% of what's going to take place in this bid. So many people are thinking about what they lost in 2020. Think about what Primerica has given you in 2020. So that's my time. That's my talk. I wish you guys all all the eggnog and all the gifts and Merry Christmas. And hey, you guys enjoy this holiday weekend. Thanks, Coach. I appreciate it.
Hey, appreciate you. That was a great testimony. And when you were sharing that with me yesterday, we talked about, I said, that's a good thing to talk about as we go into the holiday season, because we always say things that we should be thankful for, that we should list those things. So those things will be on our mind too, along with all the other stuff that comes on our mind. All the stuff they hit us with, like it's a new strain of coronavirus that they say is worse than the first one. You like, damn, they got something worse than the first one. What they trying to do, drive us crazy. And so, to stay positive, have a positive frame of reference and so forth, to look at the things that you're thankful for, that you got life, that you're kicking, that you got a business, that you're actually looking at growing in 2021. Now, somebody say, George, why we got to talk? We've talked about this before. I'm telling you, if you turn on your TV today, you're going to see some of the same commercials that they had yesterday. Why? Well, because they understand how the mind works. You got to keep feeding the mind. So you got to be the loudest voice. You got to watch what you're listening to, what you're feeding into your brain, so you can go to your dreams and goals. So it's a method to the madness that when you hear leadership and they repeating something or saying something, to get it into our heads to help us embody it. See, because our greatest work will be when we're communicating to our team, to our people. The team you got right now is the forerunner to the big team that you're going to have. And a big part of what we do is motivating, encouraging, directing people on how they can go and win. Where you got to get it in your head, where sometimes you don't even need a note to go and talk about this business. You can just talk about it from your heart and you'll be making sense and it'll come out fluent and everything. That comes from the constant repetition and learning of how to think with this thing. So now, do we have another leader who would like to share something with us about what they're thankful for with Primerica? Going once, going twice.
Hey, George, this is Charlotte.
Queen.
How you guys doing this morning?
Good, good.
I am blessed. I am blessed.
Every day.
All right. I am blessed. And thinking about this year alone, I think that a lot of us have been through some things. A lot of us have just been soaring through them, you know, but every situation, every downfall, every negative that I've experienced this year caused me to look forward to the positive. It made me dig deep within myself to realize that this thing is not here to stop or hinder me, but it's here to grow me. And so when I get on these calls in the mornings, regardless of what I'm going through, when I get off the calls, I get off the call saying, man, I needed that. Even though I am pretty positive myself, but there are times that regardless of how positive you are, there are times that the enemy will come and pull the rug from under you, you know, and you need somebody to help you along. And so I was sitting up and I was thinking when George is talking about, you know, things we're thankful for. You guys don't have a clue of some of the things that I experienced this year, but in the midst of it, I'm still standing. I'm still a conqueror. I'm still going to win. I'm still in it to win it. You know, as my shirt says, I came to win. I came to win, okay? And I intend to win. It is not over. It is not over. And I'm telling you, listen to Rodney talking the different things that they got during this time of the pandemic. Well, shoot. You know, my husband's retired. I'm retired, with the exception of Primeric. And then, you know, I do real estate every now and then. But I went out and got me a 20, you know, 2020 this year. I did not go to get the car. I went to go do something else. But when I was there, that car called me by my name. Queen Bee, this looks like you. And I said, I'll take it. So I ended up getting that car. And the thing is that God is so good. Whenever I need some income, I always ask myself this question: what do I need to do to make this happen? How many policies do I need to close to make this happen? Bam. And you make it happen. You just make it happen. We don't sit around and cry about it. We go ahead and make it happen. We'll be about it, people. We are a be about it people. You know, we're not just changing our lives, but we're changing the lives of the people that we come in contact with. And George, can I just read? It's going to be 2 minutes. I'm going to read this one thing if I can. This maybe 2 minutes. I'll read it real fast. It says, bless and speak life to everything around you. Go through your home, bless your walls, bless your bed, your kitchen, everything. Any extreme negativity or fear, remember you spoke about fear this morning, because fear can actually paralyze you if you permit it to. But now check this out. Any extreme negativity or fear that you may be experiencing right now is a gift in disguise. You say, how in the heck can fear be a gift in disguise? Because that fear is either going to motivate you or it's going to paralyze you. I choose to let the fear motivate me, okay? In order to overcome, you are being asked to do better. We're being asked. Different things coming out of life to bring us to a point where it's going to make you fight or you're going to get out of it. And I believe that all of us on here this morning are fighters, okay? Not in the physical, but in the spiritual. Trade hurtful, spiteful words for words that give love, life, peace, and wholeness. You know how people say you ain't no good, you ain't gonna do this, you ain't gonna do that. They ain't nothing over there. Use those things to motivate you guys. It may seem hard to do it when you are hurting, but you have in it if you win it. You can win it if you do it, okay? It's easy to play the blame game. Hello? It's easy to play the blame game. Well, the reason why I ain't doing this because Jack did this, because Jill did that, cause it's easy to play the blame game. But it's time for us to put the big girls and big boy drawers on so we can go ahead and move forward to the next level, all right? But you have it in you to win. It's easy to play the blame game. But you are being asked to step up to a different level of maturity as a man or a woman. The power to touch, the power to heal are a part of our feminine and masculine birthright. You have the authority to set things straight. You have the authority to set things straight, okay? Please. It says, peace begins with you. Shift from thinking that you are fighting an enemy to knowing the truth. If there is no enemy within, the enemy without can do you no harm. Now check this out. We be worried about the people on the outside. We're going to keep an eye on the outside. We got to worry about the enemy within. And most of the time, the enemy within deals with us. And so, as I said earlier, I've gone through a lot of things this year, health-wise. My husband gone through a lot this year, health-wise, but we're still standing. We're still here. Don't intend to go nowhere, because remember, I came to win. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much, Queen. I think you always share wisdom with us, and we talk about the power of reading. But not only that, you've always been dependable. You know, Ziegler said that ability is critical to success, but the dependability is probably the most important thing. We know you're going to always show up. We know you're going to always be there. We know you're in it to win it. The fight is there. And that's invaluable, guys, you know, to have a person talking with you and fighting, you know, with you, that you know you can look around and say they still fight. A warrior with you. And so, you know, we appreciate your words. We appreciate you. You one of the things that we're thankful for. And, you know, that was great words you shared. Yolanda, you just shared something real quick. Tell them about the Facebook post you just posted. Do I have Yolanda there?
Hey, George, while she's coming on.
Iris, what's
Good
up?
morning. I'm sorry, guys. You
How
know,
you doing?
sometimes a blessing and a curse is having an office phone at your house. Okay. Y'all know my brother's ingenious. The
Amen.
office phone rings here at my house, you know, so we answer. I want to start out by sharing 2020 has been one of the most unique years in my life. And 2020, though, has been a time that, you know, we look at the bad side of the pandemic, but then there's a great side of the pandemic as well. And I know that's kind of hard for people to accept. But the pandemic has made parents become better parents. It has made families become closer. They're aware that maybe they weren't close before. I've gone to church now, Charlotte, more than ever in my entire adult life. Because see, I can hear TD, I hear all of them in the morning. I can play them all on Sunday morning, you know. And so you got to understand, we look at, yes, because I lost two best friends this year. Well, three actually, three very, very close friends, and an aunt and an uncle. So those things are hard for 2020. But what I didn't lose this year was my brother and his family when that situation happened. So I'm thankful for that. You know, I'm glad that God had his hands on them that day, because we could have lost them all, but we didn't. Then I'm also grateful for this. See, I'm grateful for Primerica. You know, I heard you all say y'all bought new cars and all that, but let me tell you about Iris's life. See, Primerica let me pay mine off a year and a half early this year. See, I ain't trying to get in. I'm trying to get out of debt. Okay. See, so when I paid off that car, I went and washed it, bought it some tires and changed this oil. So me and it's gonna ride a little while together, because see, it's time that we have to become financially independent. I listened to a young lady yesterday, and here's what she said. She said, all the problems you think are social problems or economic problems with social consequences. Mm. Man, this young lady is powerful. I got her. I could only text it to you, George. I was trying to put it up on the screen. Let me tell you, this chick was talking. She said she teaches Black people of color. I don't say African American, because my grandfather's father wasn't from Africa. So, but we somewhere along the line came from there. But we've been born in America long enough. I'm just Black. Okay, so. She said, Black Americans need to start teaching the millennials about financial independence. She said, nobody teaches us about financial independence. And that lady asked her, the host said, well, why do you feel the millennials? She said, because we're educated, we've got the money, and we're not strapped by, you know, a bunch of debt yet. We've got to teach the millennials. So this young lady, I'm telling you guys, this lady was awesome. So, you know, if you ask me, what am I thankful for? I'm thankful that I have my family. I'm thankful for this company, Primerica, because Primerica, like you guys, I ain't missed a beat, okay? I have not missed a beat. Every time I think like, dang, I ain't made no money yet. All of a sudden, something pops up and I make some money. You know, see, that's why I'm thankful. See, if I was working a job, my job would have probably been shut down for a while. I came from the tax business, you know, so that would have been shut down. When they sent that $1,200 check, it sat on my table for about 3 weeks. I said, I kept looking, trying to figure out what am I going to do with it. It just sat there. See, I wasn't strapped. See, there's people in food banks. I'm gathering up stuff right now to send to the food bank. See, that's what
Right.
my life is about. See, I ain't going to the food bank. I got food to send to the food bank. See, I'm not going to the Goodwill. I got Goodwill to send to the Goodwill. I got computers. I got printers. I got all kind of stuff to send to somebody's children so that they can keep on getting their education. See, it ain't about me no more. It's about what can I do for somebody else. That's mine, George.
Oh, that was beautiful, Iris. Yeah, that
Oh,
was very, very good, you know, and I started taking notes as you were talking because, like I said, when you listen to people talk, ideas and thoughts come into your head, and that's your subconscious feeding you some success secrets and so forth. But I really enjoyed you said that you paid off a car. That's a big deal.
I paid it, and I'm looking at it. It's sitting out there. It's clean. Ain't a dent on it. Okay.
Yeah.
And and the title is in my drawer.
Yeah.
See, my mama taught me, she said, I'd rather hold out than show out. That was what Leo said.
Mm-hmm.
She said, you hold out than show out. See, this is a holdout year. Yeah. This is a time to hold out right now. See, we don't know what next year is going to bring. You know, we don't know what God is going to take from us next year. We don't know that yet. Mm-hmm. So we got to hold out. It ain't the time to show out.
All right. Words of wisdom. Thank you so
much. That's from Leah. I tell her you liked it, George, because she loved you. So I'm going to tell her that you liked her words of wisdom.
Yeah, please do. Please.
And hey, George, I'm going to give you one more Leo. She said, romance without finance is a nuisance. My mama's a mess.
That's true. That's true.
That's true. It's hard to keep it going. Anyway, who else got something else that they want to share? Some that want to enlighten us?
I'm here, George. I apologize. I'm trying to get ready for a funeral. But I just, just made, it was just dropped. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. It just dropped in my spirit. We as a people, we have to speak life into our current situation. And I just made a post. And said, speak life into your current situation, because we don't realize that life and death is in the power of the tongue. And when I say that's not a cliche, that is the honest to God truth, because there has been times where, and we all have to encourage ourselves, and we all need somebody to help pick us up. Okay, and boost us up. But when I say life and death is in the power of the tongue, that's not a cliche. That's the absolutely true. As Queen B was just talking about how, she comes up with a strategy. Okay, I need to make this amount of money this month. Okay, but see, she spoke that thing and then it happened. There has been times where I can speak, think, even think. It's so scary. Speak, think, or say something, you speak it, you think it, you believe it, and it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. So even that with my children, that's why we have to speak positivity over our children. We got to speak positivity over our businesses. We have to speak positivity over our family, our lives, because it will manifest. If you always speaking negative and always thinking negative, that's what you go get. But if you always speak in positivity, and I'm around positive, you all are positive people. You all give me energy in the morning. I may have a bad night that may spill over into in the morning, but then when I get on these calls, you all just don't know how much you motivate me, how much we all know. We all know the business. We all know the business. When people say one thing and they do another, okay? And so that can kind of get you down sometimes. But then we have to encourage and motivate ourselves. So I just, when Queen Bee, when she was talking, I'm like, wow, this is just all confirmation. This is all confirmation. Sometimes we let fear just take over us, but then we have to speak those positive affirmations to ourselves. Fear can't take over me. Fear can't take over my mind. The enemy has tried. Oh my gosh, I just don't know. But
come on, yo.
we just have to. We got to encourage ourselves. So that's something that was like really dropped in my spirit this morning. And life and death is in the power of the tongue. Life and death is in the power of the tongue. And I don't care what nobody say. So throughout your day, throughout my day, I'm speaking life into my situation, no matter how it may look. I'm speaking life into my situation because I know what God can do. I know how God can turn things around in the instant, second, minute.
Come on now.
Do you hear me? I know I've seen his work. And so that negative talk, we talk ourselves out of a whole lot of stuff. But we need to make sure that we're speaking positive things into our life because the life, the power, the life and death is in the power of the tongue. That's all I got for you, Coach.
That's a lot. That's very, very insightful. And that's something that Lisa Jones used to always talk about, and we speak it. And the one thing is to live it. And, like you said, you constantly remind yourself of that. You teach that to others, which helps you internalize it and do it, because we do have to understand we speak stuff into existence. It's simply like that. And life and death is in the power of the tongue. And so that was a great thing to share as we go into this holiday weekend, knowing that we're going to have situations where we can talk to somebody about what we do. We can share what we do. We're going to have a forum. We're going to meet somebody that's going to make a difference over these next few days. I would say that stuff to myself on a daily basis. I'm gonna meet that person that's gonna make a difference in my business. I would ask for that in my prayer. To meet a person who's gonna make a difference in my business. So all that you said was wonderful. It was exciting, and we appreciate that. It fired me up. Who else got something that they want to share? Bring it on.
Grand Rising, everybody. Grand Rising. This is Marvina Burns, the winner. Every time I turn around, he keep blessing me. As a quitter never wins, and the winner never quit. I mean it to the end. And this is something that Jeff Mountain say all the time. Everybody deserves a turn, will get a turn, as long as they don't step out of turn. It's my turn. I got it turned on. I'm talking and walking and speaking the spirit. Thank you, Jesus.
All right then, Marvin. Appreciate those words. You always excited. You always fired up. You got a great spirit, and it's just a great pleasure to have you on the business. Brandon said we got a testimony service. Ain't nothing wrong with that, because this is it's a business walk and it's a spiritual walk too. You got to be strong spiritually. You heard Iris say the ministers that she listens to. You heard Charlotte Griffin say, reading from a book, which was a spiritual book. And then you heard Yolanda. Yolanda is a minister. You all don't know, but she's a minister. And so it's a spiritual journey also. So who wants to share something next? Bring it on.
Hello, everyone.
Samantha.
Y'all hear my babies in the background. I'm at daycare dropping them off. First and
Tell them
foremost,
we say hi. Good morning.
so thank you, Mr. Muhammad. First thing I want to say is Grand Rising. And I pay gratitude to the ancestors, the universe, and God. And now I'm going to talk about my coach, Charlotte, who has believed in me. When I left, I literally left, and she still believes in me. She still goes for me. Y'all don't know what Charlotte go through, but Charlotte is going through a lot. Y'all ain't never heard or even seen what she going through. She's like Sam. Well, Sam is like her, because she's my elder. She's my saving grace. Charlotte goes through a lot. So I just want to say, Charlotte Griffin, thank you. I love you. And I listen to her. Even when I thought I wanted to do it my own way, because let's talk about that. People come in, they be like, well, this ain't working. This ain't this ain't that. And da-da-da. And I'm going to try it this way. And I'm steady telling my recruit, who I know can do wondrous things, right? I'm trying to get it. I'm going to get it. I'm like, well, you talking too much. Charlotte had to tell me, you talking too much, Sam. You talking too much. You can't talk about something that you ain't even versed yourself in. I got a dose of reality last week because I sat down with a guy and his name was Brandon, and he had an insurance business. He does pretty much like return of premium and some other things, but he shut me down, y'all. He shut me down. I went into shell mode. I was defeated. I don't like to lose. I'm a Sagittarius and I don't like to lose, but he shut me down. And I had to go back. I was like, well, you've been doing it for 11 years. I've been doing it for 2 years off and on. So I had to keep pumping myself like, okay. And then the person who utilized us both to be in a situation was my sister. Not my sister by blood, but my sister by loyalty, history, and love. So she was like, that's how you learn. You gonna learn their language. You gonna see what they doing. You see how they acting. Don't let that defeat you. Because I felt defeated. I was like, but he shut me down. He was coming in, and I know what he got is wrong. I know. I'm talking about he even laughed, y'all. Like, I just took about 10 Primerica clients. I had to call Charlotte and tell her, like, oh, I'm feeling defeated. It shut me down. It did. And it didn't count me out, though. Let me say that. So I just wanted to first say that with Charlotte. I wanted to second go to Yolanda and tell her you got it. You know, me and you gonna shine. We gonna shine. It's our generation. It's our time. It's our time, Yolanda. It's our time. I see you. You see me. We promote each other. That's what it is in this business. We gotta promote each other. It's so many. With the good comes the bad, and the thing is, we only want to embrace the good and never want to embrace our dark side or embrace the dark stuff that we know happens. You got to embrace that too. How are you going to handle it? How are you going to tame it? How are you going to put it in a position that it has to be? Because everybody has it. Everybody has it. Think about it. Somebody come mess with your kids, say something wrong to your kids, you ready to knock them out the bottom of the map. That's your dark side. But it's like, do I really have to do that? Or do I just remove my children from a situation and not give them the power that they're seeking? Because people are seeking to remove power from you. I know y'all all know about the planets that have aligned with each other. The portal is open. It's open for us. It's open for us to manifest what we need, to get what we need. I definitely didn't mean for this conversation to go this long, but I have to get it when I have to get it. When the spirit tells me and when I feel the courage to tell y'all what I know, what I think, how I feel, it's good. And I just let it out. Y'all can always text me and be like, you know, Sam, you're talking too much. Oh, you shouldn't did this. Y'all can let me know because I'm learning. I'm a baby in Primerica. Understand that I'm a baby. A lot of people coming in here are babies. A lot of people, when people come in and they hit it, they might hit it hard one time. They might, oh, I don't know, because they felt defeated because they need the leadership. When the student is ready, the teacher will appear. I learned that years ago. I don't know if it was Iris or Carletta who said that, but it touched my spirit because I'm an old soul. Like the love and the energy that I get, that I'm looking for, that I get from you guys, nobody's else giving that. And I had to look at myself like, yeah, he shut you down. Brandon shut you down. He said this, he said that. But guess what? What you get from Primerica every day. If you need to hop on the training call, you can hop on the training call. If you need some inspiration, you can hop on there and get that. You ain't getting that, brother. You not getting that. He even pushed as far as to tell me, and don't get no nice looking car. Because if you go back to what George said, you know, something about people, when you need something, they don't want to help you. When you look like you don't need something, they want to help you. They want to join your team. That's because they want to attach themselves to you because they see that you're great. So to have one person say this and have another person say, oh, don't get a car that look like this. My car is pushed in, got a dent and everything. I still go and make it happen. But no, you're not going to tell me, don't get me a nice car. I worked hard for it. I'm going to get it. So that's what I had to say. I wanted to say the holidays are coming up. I love you guys. I try to dip in when I can dip in. I was dipping in. I'm changing my life structure. It's about changing your life structure. It's about changing your vibration. It's about learning your vibration level, because we all going through something. We all are going through something. But let's talk about what we going through and how we fix it. Last thing last, I'm working a job, and somebody told me the job I'm working is at a church. And he said, I need everybody to think, breathe, eat, sleep what I do, this vision. That's not fair, because you could have 15 people in there with good visions. And guess what? If I help you with your vision and you help me with mine, that's how we build an empire, right? You can't tell me to. So basically, he said, I pay good. I pay good. I pay about $15, $20. It sounds good. Sam needs the money. Y'all don't know what Sam going through, but I need the money. Okay, that's fine. I get this. But what I'm not going to do is give my vision up for anybody. And that's what these companies do. They ask you to give your vision up. I'll give you $50,000. Y'all look at the call on Monday and what she was making. They give you a certain amount of money to give your vision up. I'm not giving
Come
my
on,
vision
Sam.
up. Let me tell
Come
you
on,
what I
Sam.
do.
Go.
Do Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday for you. Because guess
Come on,
what?
Sam.
I got to do training. And I can't get to you till 9 o'clock because I got to do training at 8 o'clock. If you want me to come in at 6 o'clock, I can come in at 6. But I need to be gone by 10 on Saturday because my training starts with Primerica from 10 to 12. I'm not gonna give my vision up to make yours real.
Come on, let them know,
Help
Sam.
me with your vision, and I'm expect that you can help me with mine. And if you can't, guess what? I'm gonna come get this money and I'm out the door. Have a good one. Nice to meet you. Thank you for the help. Love y'all. See y'all at the top.
Hey, hey,
Because the bottom is
hey,
way too crowded.
Hey, Samantha captures you because she's always excited, which R. Williams says is a key ingredient when we're talking to people and presenting. And we know if you hang with this thing, you're going to have a great destiny with it. I was thinking that you were saying, and the guy shut you down. See, that's why when I was there, about at the state that you in Primerica right now, and I had a tough confrontation. And this is another one of mine called Letter Story. I had to go face an enemy agent. You know, when we would replace their whole life insurance, then they will come back to get the client. And so we would set up a confrontation where we would meet there at the same time as the agent did. And so guess who I took with me? Carletta Sisson. And when she got through with that dude, oh, she mopped him up in the room and everything. So I'm telling you guys, if you're gonna go and talk to some agents who've been in the business a while, who've been operating, find you one of these tough ladies that we got on our team to go with you. And they will handle that agent, because a lot of times it's just a matter of experience. Like your friend told you, Sam, learn the language and so forth. And I took Carletta Sisson with me. In fact, she was my road dog in them kind of situations. And I mean, she made the man leave the house because he just couldn't handle Carletta. Because she knew all that stuff, all the tricks he was doing. And see, the way that they go in and work on getting a Primerica client is on that whole life insurance, that cash value. They're able to project that as being so great. And then they'll go to some negative crap that they may have reached, which is illegal for them to do, say negative crap about us, but they'll sneak and say it. And, you know, so that's why it's important to build personal relationships, even with your clients. You know, that loyalty factor, getting it with your clients, doing that extra for them and preparing them if you're doing a replacement for the enemy agent, because the enemy agent is not going to just lay down, because they get fired if they have bad persistency. Primerica will work with you on bad persistency, but they get fired if they have bad persistency. So that's something that we want to be mindful of. But great testimony, Samantha. Always, when you do it, you do a great job. As I always say, up front in the presentation, handling those objections of that enemy agent coming back and talking with those people. Anybody else before we close out got anything that they want to share? We've had some great testimonies this morning. You know, always good to understand why, as you look at people, how they got involved in the business. You know, when you see giants and people that you admire, you know, hearing a little bit of what prompted them to get in. How did somebody prospect them? That's one of the things when Charles came and talked to us on this, he said that the guy came to his house and he was watching football and he had his TV up real loud. You know how people disrespect us on Zoom and stuff like that. That's just a no. We'll think it just happens to us, but he had the TV up real loud, and the guy was so familiar with him, he told him to turn it down, you know, so he could listen. And to hear his story about how he got started is awesome, because it makes you think about, man, I thought I was the only one running into hard-headed people or people who were resistant. But everybody does. That's the pathway to greatness in this business. So anybody got anything else they want to share before we dismiss this class, moving into our Christmas celebrations and buying gifts and all the things that Dr. Fauci told us not to do? Some of us gonna go do. We go celebrate with our families and so forth. Make sure you make it something that you share a good word with them about having insurance, because everybody needs it. Anybody got something else they want to share?
I did drop the message that I was speaking up from the young lady. I dropped it in the new Future Millionaires group. That's all I don't know how to send it as a link.
Okay.
But if we notice, George, I'm saying this real quick, I apologize. If you all notice, we've been talking since toward the end of last year about the disparity between the Black and white people. We've been talking about that. Now, this has been talked about on so many fronts that Citi has now made home ownership easier for Black people. I don't know if you all has seen their commercial. Ally Financial, who happens to also be the company I paid off on my car, also is doing a thing where making Black people more aware of financial disparity. So you see, this thing that we talked about these 10 big companies who made it off the backs of slaves, these companies are working on doing something better. We've got the handle, because they may have the knowledge, but we've got the licenses and the products to help people to become better off financially. We have it. And we've got the message, because we can knock on anybody's door and talk about what we do. So we've got to use what we've got to get people in a better financial situation. We have got it. These other companies are starting to talk about it. They're making changes, guys. Look around you. They're making changes, but we have got to take advantage of it. We're in the forefront of it. We've got mortgages. We've got investments. We've got insurance. We've got auto and home. We've got to take advantage of those products to go out here and make it better in our world, because nobody can touch us better than us across grandma's turkey and dressing. We can't do better than that. We got to do that. These should be the Christmas gifts to our entire family. It ain't about your sweet potato pie. It's the sweet potato pie you're going to give them forever. See, it ain't about going out and helping somebody, buying some dadgum flowers. It's about making sure that you're the one that's going to deliver that check. This is the differences that we've got to make. We've got to be the ones that deliver the check. We've got to become, I always wanted to be my children's hero. I wanted to be their hero. I wanted them to know. I get so angry. I used to get angry with my son. If I found out he asked anybody about money, you better not never ask nobody about no money but me. I'm the hero. And you know, that's the way you want to be. Become your family's hero, or shero if you prefer. But be it. Be the it. Be the last one that they have to come to. And when they do come to you, don't say, well, if don't nobody else help, I can. No, be it. That's all, George.
Well, thank you,
George.
We see you on fire. You full of the
George.
full of spirit. And I get just a minute to call that. And so we appreciate what you just shared. And we'll find that in the group me, that message. And thank you for putting that in there. Call out a system. What you got to say?
Well, George, you know, every day I get up and I expect favor because I ask for it. You know, so I kind of lead my life like that these days, you know. But I was listening to Samantha and some of the other people, you know, as they were making their testimonials, you know. But I do want to say to Samantha, you know, never be discouraged, because first of all, you all took the same exam. He took the same test that you took. So he is no better, no smarter, no nothing than you. Okay, so that's how I've always lived with my confidence. Okay, and the other side of that is that you know that you're doing a work. I don't care how much whole life they sell, or market to our people. We always know that buy term and invest the difference is still better than other people. I've had people to say to me, well, term is not good for everybody. Then my question to them, then who isn't it good for? They never have an answer. Yet still they will tell you that stuff. But then you got to question what people say to you. So no matter what, and even when you're talking to somebody with their whole life, always ask them, do they have to borrow their money? How do they get their money? And if they don't pay it back, what happens? Because they'll tell you, no, they don't have to pay it back. They don't, but it's affect the debt proceeds. So those are the things that you got to stand solid, that you open our community, because nobody else can save us. Nobody else came to save us. Like she said, like I was just saying, everybody's trying to get on the bandwagon now because we are wide awake now. We're still a little sleepy, but we're wide awake. Okay, so now everybody's trying to get on that bandwagon, but nobody came to save us. So therefore, we are our saving graces for each other. So never let anybody shut you down and make you feel inferior or not competent or any of those kind of things. Never let them do that to you. And I do believe that, my income is down this year. But when I looked at it, my income was down about $10,000 this year. But you know what? I haven't missed a beat. I'm scheduled to pay my car off within less than 6 months. In a pandemic. And I haven't really, I don't even know how long I have stuff. I don't even know what year my car is. I'm gonna tell y'all the truth. I buy stuff because that's what I want. That's what I like. People ask me, and when I take it to the dealership or someplace, they say, what year is it? I got to pull out the owner's manual to find out what year it is, because that doesn't make me any difference. If those 4 wheels keep rolling, then I'm fine. If nothing is knocking and banging, I'm fine. I don't care about any of that kind of stuff, because, you talk about your dented up car, Georgia tell you about some of those cars that I brought my business up in. I built the best part of my business in a borrowed car. I borrowed somebody's car. Man had 2 cars. I asked, can I borrow his? It was one of those old Chevys with the long bench seat. If you left something on the other side of the seat, you got to stop to get it. So never ever.
You have to roll the windows down.
Wow.
Roll the windows down.
Roll the windows down, not let them down, but roll them down. Little crank thing. See, some of y'all don't know nothing about that, but I'm so grateful to Primerica because, man, no, I don't make $1 million. I don't make any of that, but I live $1 million lifestyle. Okay, because it's the one that's right for me.
Come on.
I don't think that God brought me this far to leave me, and I tell myself that often. Every time I get in the tight, because I get in the tight too mentally. But I have affirmations. I carry them in my wallet. I got a copy of them in the office. I got a copy of them at home. I got a copy of them in the Bible and a copy of it in the Quran. Okay, so any place I go, I can find these affirmations because I typed them up and printed them out. Okay, so you go to your affirmations and you read those things because these are things that you are yearning for in your life. So all these things are things that help you keep going, because I said, well, obviously, God, I didn't need that $10,000 because I haven't missed a beat. Because there was probably $10,000 I was messing up in the damn streets that I can't go into now. Okay, that's probably why I haven't missed it, okay? But nevertheless, clothes, things like that and stuff. I refuse to buy clothes now because I got about 3 dresses hanging in the closet with the tag still on it. That's not me. If I buy something, I'm gonna wear it. I don't care where it is. I wear clothes. Dawn asked me one day, I came in the office, she said, who are you going to clothes? I told her, you can't wear them nowhere else. You might as well wear them now. So I still wear the clothes. It doesn't matter because where are you going? This is where you're going. You're going from point A to point B. It doesn't matter. Put the clothes on anyway, because by next year, they're all going to be too little because we all eating and getting fat, and they're going to be outdated and you're not going to want to wear them anyway. So wear them now. Make yourself feel good. Get up and put on some stuff. Look good. Brandon talking about every time I come to the office, look like I stepped out of a fashion show. That's because I don't care. I'm aware of them anyway. Okay?
That's right.
You know, so folks, so folks, never, ever, ever let anybody determine what your worth is. If you are diminishing your worth, then who else is going to respect your worth? So never let anybody diminish your worth. You know, so that's all I really got to say, because I'm just so grateful. I haven't had a job since 1990. That's older than some of these people probably are on this phone. I don't care, you know, but I haven't had a job since 1990. Haven't entertained the idea. Every time I even think about, oh Lord, how am I gonna make it? I ain't got no money. Maybe I need to look for a job. And bingo, something happens, because I bring those things, because the Spirit brings them to me, because the secret says the law of attraction. You know, we talk about spiritual things, you know, yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death. Listen, God got you walking because it ain't nothing to fear. You know, otherwise he'd have you running through that valley. You know, so therefore, you know, I mean, it ain't nothing to fear. You walk through it, and you walk through it because there is an expected end for you, and ain't nothing you can do about it. So go ahead and live your life the way that you think that your life should be lived. Amen.
I told y'all I told you she tough. I'm telling you. Them enemy agents, she used to send them running from the table. Man was almost crying, but she was bringing up facts. And you know, she did talk. She was mentally tough, and so even though she didn't have the car of her dreams, she went out and she was closing. She was closing. She was making money. She didn't let nothing that she didn't have stop her from moving in this business. It's all about mindset and how you got your mind. And so she's a living testimony of staying focused and going and doing the thing. Anybody else before we close out? Anybody else got something that they want to share? Something that they want to let us. Brandon, you've been awfully quiet. Now you know we be wanting to hear from you. You must be sleepy this morning.
Coach, this one of those mornings, I just wanted to take it all in. I mean, I have enjoyed, you know, what everyone has said. You know, we have to always, you know, reflect and take a pause and look around, and as you say, you know, count the things that you're thankful for. You know, all of us are blessed because we're in a first of all, we have life, you know. Second of all, we're in a position to where we've seen something that most haven't seen. We're in an opportunity that most people aren't taking advantage of. And we have the keys to go out here and make a difference in our world, in our country, and our families and everything. And so it's so much to be thankful for, you know. And as far as I'm concerned, you know, I'm thankful for God and all that he has done for me and my family. I'm thankful for my family and just being with me and being able to just, you know, live life with them. And I'm thankful for this business. So guys, I don't have a whole lot to say. I'm just soaking it in. But we can go out here, man, and explode, close this year out right, and explode into 2021 with this same mindset that we have. And let's go make something happen, man. Let's go change our lives. We in the greatest business opportunity in the world. All we got to do is take advantage of it and go make it happen. So, Coach, that's all I got.
Charles Muhammad, you busy? You've been awfully quiet. You must be busy.
Hold on, George. Hold on. Give me 2 seconds.
I didn't mean to stop you, my brother.
You know he ain't gonna go without saying anything. He gonna say something.
That's why I called on him. He normally.
Hey, I was trying to ride it out. You know what I mean? But look, man, everything everyone said has been ultra inspiring. I'm thankful for my Primerica family. I'm thankful for being able to get on every morning and see y'all beautiful faces and be inspired. See, I'm thankful for this family. I'm thankful for my family, right? You know, without Primerica, it would be a $25,000 missing out of my life. You see what I'm saying? So we got to think, even if you made 5,000 or 500 extra what were you able to do with that? And where would you be without that opportunity to come into your life to be able to go and serve your family with what Primerica has gave us the opportunity to do, right? And so I'm thankful for all of that. Thankful for all of you. Whenever we short in our business, we can plug in to this call, plug in, make a phone call, and we're made better. You know what I mean? Every day you getting better. If you stop, if you miss a call, or if you stop progressing, there's no growth. So regardless of what's going on right now, you're growing. You're growing into what you're going to eventually be. That income is coming. And so, man, I'm just thankful for you all.
Well, we thankful for you, brother. And we appreciate those kind words that you just shared and those real words that you just shared. And as we continue our journey, as we're moving forward, as we're going into the new year, we want to look at what we're thankful for about this year, but how we're going to move forward in the next year. Now, yesterday we requested that everybody get this book, Secrets of Building a Super Hierarchy, from Primerica. It's a real easy read, and it's easy access to it too. We want everybody to get that book and read it. It's only about 50 or 60 pages. It's going to make a difference in our fundamental understanding. After we leave that one, we're going to go to another one. And some of them are just easy, like how money works. You know, a lot of our new people, if they understand that, they'll be more prepared when they run into people who want to attack them for being in Primerica and so forth, because nobody else is teaching that. And how we think our positive, us being thankful, us knowing that this is great, is going to influence who we attract. So if you talking to people, you may not have to talk about insurance. Say you're on a 401k on your job. We said this yesterday. You with your group, some of your family, you're on a 401k on your job. They say, yeah. Say, do you really understand how that works? You know, do you have a FIN number? They said, what's that? Well, look, I know a lady or I know a man who they instruct people on. It ain't gonna cost you nothing. But let me get your name and number. It's okay if we give you a call and talk to you about that, to explain you how it works. You know, we may even be having a seminar on that. You know, utilizing some other methods to get people to listen, to get people to look at it. We can't have a give up attitude. We got to have, we're going to figure out how to get you. You know, like I said, when I would go in houses and people would they would say they wouldn't listen and so forth. I said, okay, I would say this to myself. I didn't get you, but one day one of my people going to get you. You will be a part of this. This is not nothing that you would ignore. And so I've seen that manifest. I've seen that happen. It's going to happen for you too. And so with the spirit of what we have and knowing that we're thankful for it, not because we made $1 million this year or any of that kind of stuff. Like I said, the things that we've been able to do, paying off cars, having that extra money. I came here just to make $250 a month. And man, when I made that, I was happy. You know, just $250 a month changed my life, changed my world. You know, I heard him talking about 100,000. I said, I'm gonna get there one day. But man, I was thankful for that 250 when it showed. And like Rodney said, when I started this part-time, I always had money. You know why? Because I was gonna do all other things they said do, but I was gonna sell me some insurance. Carletta, no, we sold some insurance. Charles always say that he trained us wrong. He said, if I could do it all over again, then I would be focused more on recruiting and you know, because I did it wrong. I started wrong. I always text him back or something, say, Charles, but you taught us how to sell that insurance, so we always made money. You know, he could probably think that he could be bigger and he could have a bigger hierarchy and all. And it's good. Hindsight is always 20/20. But when you came through Charles Whiting operation, you could sell some insurance and you could sell to the amount of money that you needed on a monthly basis. We wasn't scared of nobody. We could talk it like you hear Carletta talking that. She had that same kind of confidence. We say, I got to say, I got an appointment. We expected to make a sale. We were disappointed if we didn't make a sale because we would lay that stuff out. We would have them mad at whole life agents. They'd be wanting to fight them. Oh, they did this to me. They did that to me. we sold us some insurance. I'm telling you, and we were bad. And so that's something that you never can lose sight. We got a lot of the glamorous stuff and all that, which is good. We got to be involved with that to attract people. I'm telling you, use those things to attract people, to get people to look at it. But I'm telling you, ain't nothing like it. Sam Shepard said it, Gary Carnegie said it, all of them, but they associate recruiting with that. Art used to give us a profile. He would say if a person came and became a recruit, you show them a plan, they can't really afford it. Well, if you go out and make $500 a month doing this part-time, then you could pay for your plan. Your plan might be just $100. So you take $100 for that, and then you put $100 into a savings, and here's what it'll grow into in 20 years. So you have the power through the financial calculator where you show up and say, look, you come to work with us, you get involved, you make $500 a month, then you take $250 and you save. You put it into your financial calculator, and this is what it will amount to in 10 years, in 20 years, and so forth. And so that's something that you want to be able to incorporate and use and go out here and win. So anyway, we're getting kind of long. I had a person just text me and said that they're going to have to leave, and I know you all have things to do too. So Brandon, when we get back on, is it Monday or Tuesday?
Monday.
Monday. So we'll be here Monday morning because Larry Waddell doesn't have one on Monday, right?
Well, he's they're not going to start back up till the beginning of the year.
Okay.
So,
now I'm working on some guests. I'm looking at bringing the people from Lincoln in to do a morning call for us, and also AIG. And I'm looking at a couple of others. I may try to get some of them in this week since we're coming into the new year as we plan and put together. So stay tuned for the announcement of that. But go out and have a great, 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 great holiday and be safe. Be as safe as you can possibly be. And thank God for each and every one of you all. You know, I value the people who are in the fight with us, out here working to make a difference for our people, for ourselves, and so forth. So let's go out and just take over the world.
A holiday, not a holler month.
Holiday, not a holler month. But while you celebrating, make sure that you share the word, spread the news. Here's the top cover.